What's going on, everybody? I want to talk about the burden of knowing. That's right. To much is wisdom brings much grief, and they that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrows. That's Ecclesiasticus, the first chapter. In this particular stream, I want to give some motivation for all you chosen ones out there, because I understand wholeheartedly how the crown that the Most High God have given you all is illustrious, it's beautiful, it's magnificent, but heavy is the head. A lot of you all are breaking generational curses in your family, and you got a lot on your shoulders, pressing down, weighing down. A lot of us chosen ones, we got a lot on the line. The stakes are high. In this trying hour, the more we know, the more we grow. But the more we have to go through the pains, the more we have to go through trials and tribulations to grow a greater understanding of our purpose. And it can be grieving. It can be grieving knowing when nobody around you seems to know. Knowing what's beneath the surface. Unplugging from the matrix. Ego is dying while the spirit is being lifted, but at the same time, you feel alone in this work, in this walk. And you know, when that scripture says much knowledge is much grief, and wisdom brings grief, and knowledge brings sorrows, it's on so many levels, because on one level, the things that you used to do, the things that you would partake in with friends, colleagues, associates, family, you can no longer do those things that are wrong, and it's grievous unto you, because now you're hit with conviction. You got to embrace that conviction. You got to embrace the fact that something is jarring at your spirit. Something is now not allowing you to walk down the same path anymore. And it can be difficult for a lot of you all, especially when that's all you ever known. Some of us grew up in environments where the only thing we were exposed to was toxic people. And all we know is toxicity. All we know is drama. All we know is back and forth. All we know is arguments. All we know is strife. All we know is contention. And you got to break that curse. You got to break free from the monitoring spirits that don't want to see you accelerate. The time is now. A lot of us have learned things that we were never supposed to learn, and it has made us vexed in the spirit. And some of the most genius people are the most troublesome. We're talking about troubled souls, man. Some of the most creative, articulate, well-postured, chosen people are the most troubled. And it's the part that people don't know. This is what they won't talk about. But the scriptures make it plain as day. It's because there's a thin line. Y'all heard the saying before. It's a thin line between genius and insanity. Of course, we know we on the side of genius. But it's so much insanity going on in the world that you just having that knowledge, it can be worrisome. So I come to give you some ways of pushing through this, because I believe a lot of you all have been through this, and we've all had our moments where we wanted to give in and throw in a towel, because it almost seems like it's not worth it sometimes. Because what's the reward of putting your livelihood in jeopardy? What's the reward of putting yourself on the line for others and speaking out when all you get is mean mugs, cold stares, jealous looks, hate, reviling, and everything else under the sun? What's the point? Well, the point is the Most High God, He has you sealed. You're earning your seal. You're earning your position. You're earning your place. You're doing it for that job well done and that pat on the back from the Almighty. That has to be enough. So you got to endure. Let's see. I see people rolling in pretty quick. All praises. Somebody said smash the like button. I like the Kingdom shirt. Thank you, family. He says, coming from the DMV. That's what's out. Shout out to y'all. Yeah, somebody said the reward is everlasting life. Exactly. Everlasting and eternal life. That's a great reward, and it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't continue to live your life worried about the opinions of others, because a lot of that grief comes from other people. A lot of that grief comes from the projection that's coming off a lot of your friends, family, colleagues, and associates. See, a lot of you all trying to please everybody. I'm gonna make this very clear. It is better to be respected than liked. I can tell you personally, I'm not a very liked person. People don't like the things I say sometimes. It really gets under their skin. It bothers them. It disturbs their everyday goings. They don't like me, right? I'm fine with that. You will drive yourself crazy trying to get everybody to like you. But the goal of you chosen ones is to get people to respect you. And in order to do that, you got to stand on your convictions. You got to be bold in your beliefs. When something is going against the Most High, when something is going against your personal revelation and what the Lord have shown you, you have to fight back. No matter how much isolation it may cause, no matter how much bickering and back talking and disparaging remarks and comments it may cause, you got to stand on your post in these last days. I'm telling you. Trying to get everybody to like you, that's insane. That's insanity right there. Somebody said preaching the gospel is worth more than our personal reputation. God's opinions is all that matters. Exactly. Exactly. And see, when we coming into this truth, it's like, I don't think a lot of you all realize that you have just opened Pandora's box. And there's a lot that's going to come with your newfound spiritual awakening. So for people just joining over here, man, I got to get you ready for what's to come. Because it's not going to be easy. Taking a road less traveled is a very bumpy road with a lot of roadblocks, a lot of potholes, and a lot of ditches. And you got to be prepared for it. And you got to know there's going to come grief. There's going to be times you're going to question yourself. There's going to be times where you may lose sleep at night because you're trying to figure out if you're in the right path, because you're getting so much rejection. You're getting so much rejection to the point where you second guessing what you know to be right. And that's what they want in this world right now. They want you to second guess yourself, right? Listen, the Bible says when you ate of that roll, when you eat of that roll, it said it was sweet unto the taste. And I'm paraphrasing. If y'all like to share that scripture, feel free. When you bite into that roll, it's sweet unto the taste. But then it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. It's bitter because you start to see what's real. And nobody around you can accept that. You eat of that roll, it's sweet because you know all this rich history. You know who you are as far as your identity. You know what is needed. You able to follow the rules and regulations written of. It's a sense of peace and knowledge. And you're expanding your horizons and you're broadening your mind and your spirit is growing vast and all of this goodness. But then something happens. Something happens. And what happens is you wake up and you realize, you look around and you realize that nobody else is concerned with having that role. You know how good it is to the taste. That's like when you go to a nice restaurant, you eat a good sandwich and you want to recommend it to your buddies. You want everybody else to partake of this role. But not only are they rejecting the role, but they're attacking you. And that's when you start growing callous. That's where it gets real. You start to really feel a certain way. You're like, man, I just want y'all to see what the Most High showed me, because I've been blessed because of what I've learned, and I don't want to see y'all going through the same rigmarole that y'all been going through for years. You go back to visit certain places, and it's the same people doing the same thing. And you want them to wake up. You want them to unplug. You want them to see. You want them to have that blessing. But instead, all you get is jealousy. All you get is hate. All you get is backbiting. All you get is gossip. And it can cause some grief in your spirit, man. And then all of a sudden you realize that you're surrounded by the black devils. You're surrounded by the gang stalkers, the perpetrators, the weirdos, those who target those people who can see, those who actually bear the light. And all they want to do is extinguish that light. You know, recently I did a video about these camps, IUIC and ISUPK to be exact. And I'm gonna stay here briefly. They was in the streets fighting, having a full-blown Royal Rumble on Front Street in Kansas City, going to blows. And somehow, some way, because I've pointed out the fact that these camps are pretty much done. They're operating like the Pharisees and scribes. They believe they're above reproach. There's a lot of infighting going on amongst Israelites in general. And I made a very valid point that everybody waking up to this truth right now should be thinking about nation building. And what I mean by that is they should be thinking about building hospitals, schools. They should be thinking about acquiring land. They should be thinking about gaining global responsibilities by establishing ourselves as a nation. You know, going to certain countries and actually meeting with dignitaries, actually putting some things into play. So when this world goes completely haywire, we got a place to go to. And I think that's a fair assessment at this point. But somehow, through all of that, I'm not the one in the middle of the street fighting like animals, but somehow, some way, because people love their idols so much, people love and worship these churches and these camps and congregations so much that when they hear the truth, the absolute unmitigated truth, all I get is rejection, hate mail. You know how many people are defending, vouching in my inbox, disturbed, which I'm not mad at it. I already understand what type of spirits we operate in. People idolize and worship these camps, these letter organizations. They're lost. They're not studying to show themselves approved. But I'm using that as an example because if you can imagine, if this was some years ago, I would be highly frustrated behind that. Because it's like, y'all don't see what's going on? But that is the burden of knowing. Just because and this is for all you, just because you know something, just because you know the right direction, the Most High God has laid it out for you, showed you, gave you your convictions, put you down that path to do what is right and what is necessary. Yo, you're gonna be met with a lot of pushback. You're gonna be met with a lot of backlash. At every corner you turn, there's gonna be a naysayer. There's gonna be a person who is gonna be against progress. That's what Satan is all about. The enemy is all about stopping progression. The way a lot of these people are behaving in these camps, they are actually extending our captivity. People got upset when I got over here and told you that the black man is a devil. Yeah, the black man is a devil. You can't have it both ways. You can't say you the chosen people and say Adam came from the dirt and we the originator of this, that, and the third, and think that you can be the most high and you not the devil too. No, you're the devil. Black man, you're the devil. Now you got to choose sides. Are you going to choose the Elohim? You're going to choose the most high? But let's make this clear. They said Satan was the lead musician in heaven. Right or wrong? The best musician in heaven, the most beautiful angel in heaven. Who are the best musicians? No disrespect to everybody's culture and music, but let's make this clear. Not only is Africa the origin of all world religions, but it's also the origin of all music too. So you can't sit up here and say that the black man ain't the devil. But you know how much me bringing this out, imagine the adversaries and enemies who got riled up in it. All you people who done drunk the Jim Jones. All you people who believe the narratives of the news media. You ain't gotta like me, but you will respect the truth. You will respect the truth. Excuse me. Yo, somebody says, your life is worthy of living. Don't let them lies make you feel like your life ain't worthy. Exactly. And that's what the goal is. A lot of you brothers and sisters who just you're beyond your time. You're ahead of your time. And I need you chosen ones out there to understand that you're on a different level. You on a new level. I'm telling you, you on a new level. The black devils, gang stalkers, weirdos, perps, liars, gossipers, backbiters, and busybodies, skinwalkers, trolls, scoffers, and all of the above, they don't get it. They don't get it. They don't understand that your vindication is coming. They don't understand that you're about to be blessed in front of all of them. And you wasn't never supposed to make it out of the situations you was in. You was never meant to survive the things that you've been through. And they think it's all sunshine and lily flowers, and they think the grass is greener on the other side, because we are blessed. We are very blessed and highly favored, but we still are grieved. Because what happens is, essentially, when we came into this truth, since we're empathetic, there has been a vexing of the spirit, knowing that the world is in shambles. And we have to carry that burden, knowing that, you know, all of this wickedness is going on, and knowing that the future of family looks dismal at best. And just having those burdens, they don't understand that it ain't always green on the other side. We have our issues. Just because you see the chosen ones elevating, the ones who have been blessed for following the commandments, there's still battles that we go through daily. Just knowing, the burden of knowing. Just like when the You Know What came out, the pointy thing. When that came out, you know how grievous it was knowing what was about to transpire with friends and family. Do you know, I know so many people that sat up there and warned friends and family about certain impositions, and they literally watched them die. You don't think that's grievous? Watch them die. Going to the nursing homes, going into the hospitals, they jam packed, and yo, there's burdens in knowing. I'm telling you, there's things that I've held on to that was done in the past, like things I did not know that I learned a little bit too late. And I held on to that because I wish I would have known then. I wish I would have known then what I know now. And that can even be grievous. That's a burden in itself, just knowing. It would have never been an issue if I didn't know. I had a family member very close to me, hooked up to, had IVs hooked up to him. And I didn't know that you got to ask these doctors, hey, what's in that IV? What's going in that IV? What's going into my family member's arm? Didn't know that until it was too late. A year later, I learned that you got to ask these people because they literally be sedating people until they slip, until they soul slip. Morphine, procuricone, you name it. They putting these in the IVs, taking people out. So even just knowing what I know now, there was a burden there for a lot of years. Even though it was something I did not know. So knowing comes with grief. It comes with knowledge. It comes with sorrows. But I wouldn't have it no other way. I wouldn't have, because it's blessed. It's a blessing that we know. It's a blessing that we can see. Yeah, somebody said it. These doctors be on demon time. Right. Somebody said this message came right on time. All praises. Somebody said, Shalom, Bree. At the end of the day, the Most High is texting all who say they are chosen. Or I think you meant to say testing. Said this is part of the walk, where it's very lonely if you truly walk in this set-apart life. Absolutely. It really is. It really is. And then, you know, the funny thing, right? Let me wipe the screen off. That video I done, speaking in regards to the camps, there was a lot of negative comments, right? Somebody came in particular, said, yo, New Breed, what are you doing but sitting behind a computer? Just to show you how brainwashed the people are, right? First and foremost, I guess when I met up with the vice president of Liberia and all the dignitaries and end up gaining 125,000 acres of land from the tribal community, being granted that land to be overseers, I guess I was behind my computer when that happened too. I guess I was sitting behind the computer when that happened. But you know what it is? It's a spirit on our people where they enter these camps. They enter these camps to the point where they're idolizing them, they're worshiping them. And it's just, I know that they're Judas goats. I know that they're leading the sheep to the slaughter. I know that these are Pharisees and scribes. These are the same people that Christ was going to war with. These are the same people he was telling them, you are of your father the devil. This is who Christ was battling against. Y'all don't understand. When you read the scriptures, these camps, right, are the same people that Paul in Antioch was going against. These are the same Israelites that the Most High said, be not afraid of them. When you go in to combat them, be not afraid of them. It was them. It was them. Like, y'all need to break the spell. And I'm not saying this because, oh, Newbury, you just hating on camps and hating on, listen. I have no reason to do that. It just has to come a time where we're being active. Community is the name of the game. Shout out to the real Israelites who understand that, and they're moving towards building community, because that's what it is right now. If every nation gonna flee back to their own respective people, where we gonna go when everything hit the fan? And the things that I be telling people, it doesn't really help me. All it does for me is give me pushback, because you could bet your bottom dollar when this AI system and these smart cities come out and everything is going down, you could bet your bottom dollar New Breed Global Truth gonna have somewhere to go. You can bet your bottom dollar that I'm gonna be drinking well water that's fresh and clean. You can bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna be eating fresh fruit. So I'm extending an olive branch. I don't say that because it's helping me. I'm gonna be good. That's what people fail to realize. I'm just doing what the Most High told me to do. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, yeah, man, that AI is getting real. Yeah, man. It's crazy because I was watching this commercial. It was an advertisement on Instagram, how they got AI generated women. Literally. And you would never know the difference. And it was crazy because I said that a couple streams ago, that some of the women online ain't real. They literally designing, artists are coming through artificially generating women. So some of the women that's in your inbox on some of these platforms may not even be real people. They can have them walking, moving, talking, all of that. It's getting real out here. Imagine how many people gonna be getting lined up because they think it's a shorty in their inbox and that's an AI generated person, made up, artificially inseminated voice. Everything is not even real, bro. You don't even know what's real and fake these days. It's time that we return back to nature, bro. It's time that we limit our screen time and get our minds right. Somebody said, I think AI is fallen angels. That's exactly what it is. Yep, somebody said truth can be harsh sometimes. It can be. Truth can be a double-edged sword. Slicing through bone and marrow is what the scriptures say. And I think that it's a tough pill to swallow for anybody to finally recognize and realize that their idols are flawed. The Most High call them dumb idols. I'm telling you. Somebody said it's getting real, more like it's getting fake out here. Yeah, for real. You're right. This artificial intelligence world, I told y'all before, man, this physical plane that you in right now, this is an alternative universe. This is not even life. Imagine a burden of that, knowing that you are in a simulation day in and day out, that this was never what life was intended to be. It's almost like on a daily basis, the chosen one is cracking Da Vinci Code. Straight up. Somebody said, I see signs of all that. Yep. Yeah, it's time to get back into nature for real. Yeah, ever since Eve bit of that fruit and they partake in the knowledge of good and evil, it's been real. It's been fake, rather. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot that we got to go against. It's a burden of knowing. It's a burden of knowing that there's a lot of people out here who are operating on a low level doing witchcraft, magic, sorcery. Like, we know this to be a fact at this point. Everybody's a half gypsy. Everybody doing black magic. Bunch of weirdos. There's some weirdos out here, bro. You got people, the chosen ones, we know the truth, man, and they out here burning candles on y'all, man. And we got to stay prayed up all the time. Somebody said, if only you knew this workplace I'm at, bro. If you was here, you would show examples of these hateful people. Man, they make me want to go home. Wow. It might be time for you to start putting in other apps. When you persecuted in one place, man, in this time, in this dire hour, flee unto the next, bro. It is not worth your peace. It's just not worth it. And I'm going to tell you brothers right now, a lot of you brothers, man, you got to start to learn different trades and, utilize your talents and gifts, and make sure you planting seeds in more than one place. Don't ever put all your eggs in one basket. You want multiple streams, and you gotta figure out how to do it. Put yourself a 90-day plan together. Write some things out, because the way things are looking, man, a lot of these jobs, it's been estimated within the next 10 years that 40% of jobs going to be replaced by artificial intelligence. 40% of jobs. So what that tells you is that in this time, you got to be resourceful. You got to be resourceful and just understand you do have alternative options out here to make ends meet. Like, you just got to, put your best foot forward and start to be active in certain things that you are skilled at. I was watching a video, and this dude, man, he had a nervous breakdown on his lunch break. Grown man, I mean, he was sprawling out of control, man. The man was in tears, and he said, man, life is not supposed to be this difficult. I work all the time. I'm tired. I can't afford to do anything. I'm still struggling. By the time I retire, I gotta be 120 years old, and if I pass away before I get my retirement or my Social Security, they ain't gonna pass it down to my children. Like, what are we doing here? We are not supposed to be suffering this bad in America. And he was really going in. He was really crying, bro. And I felt this pain because that he's right, but you gotta be proactive. If you know the situation that you in, there's other ways that you gotta get to it. You know what I'm saying? There's other things that you gotta be doing. And in life, sometimes you gotta take chances. The risk is worth the reward sometimes. And shout out to CJ Matthews. I'm rocking his sunglasses right now. That's a young business owner. You can go on newbreed.love and grab these, man. This is Marvacy right here. And it's a brother right here who young, who doing his thing. That's the kind of things you got to do. Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur, but there's alternative methods of getting it, because you're not meant to be miserable dealing with these people who have a hive mentality a lot of the times at these workplaces, who want to keep you in a bubble. A lot of y'all miss a lot of opportunities because you're trying to search for some type of security, not realizing that there is no such thing as job security. There is no such thing as anything secure in this land that you live in. We in the time of the prophets. Back in the day, everything was uncertain. It was a very uncertain time period. And we are back in that time. So you gotta move accordingly. It's really important to link in with the right people, man. If you got people in your life who are not thinking outside the box, people who are not trying to figure out other ways to get to it, you don't need them around. You need winners in your circle. You need winners in your circle. Not just people who just walking down a hamster in the wheel all the time. And I'm not telling you not to work your gig, because you got to do what you got to do. We got to do what we got to do to make sure we taking care of our family. The Bible says a man who don't provide for his own is worse than an infidel. So we got to do what we got to do. Even if you getting up in the morning, going to labor ready and just doing what you got to do. But at the same time, your job is supposed to be used to help you save up. Your job is supposed to help you finance your real skill. Let me say that again. Your job is supposed to help you finance what you truly are trying to do. Floridian Talk, thanks for the contribution. $5 says bring it out 100. Thank you, Ak. Absolutely. And you got to understand as well, it ain't about how much money you making all the time either. It really goes into your money management. If you saving up more than you spending, then you in a good position. For a lot of you brothers and sisters, you got to downsize. You got to downsize and start to consolidate a lot of your assets, liquidate some of your assets, but also consolidate some of your assets. Break it down so you can have that security. Remember, the Bible says money is a defense. That's what it's really for. You want to have that padding because in case of. That's what having a nice bank account is about. In case of something happens. That's what money is supposed to be for. And bet your bottom dollar is always going to be a something that requires that defense. But you know, I can talk about that all day. But now that you know, there's a burden knowing what I just told y'all brothers. There's a burden in you knowing that this country is not gonna. They're not gonna love you. They're not going to take care of you and your family when you're gone. This whole country is a scam when you really look at it. I'm going to be straight up with you. And this is another burden of knowing. Just knowing America's a scam. It's a scam. It is a scam, y'all. You are not meant to be successful here. This is a debt base. This place is debt based. This is why they're able to continually increase the debt margins. Print the money like monopoly paper. The whole goal is to keep you in debt. You're not supposed to excel here. Yeah, somebody said grow your own food if you can. Absolutely. Somebody said they hate us because we serve the Messiah and the Most High. Absolutely. Somebody said this country is better than other countries. Well, this country aesthetics is better than a lot of other countries. But what America is a two-notch 304 who's dolled up. America is a streetwalker that just had a makeover. That's what it is. It's actually more on the lines of being a third world country when you look at the debt. Yo, thanks for the $20 contribution. E says it's hard to be in the world but not of it. They ridicule and the shunning is real. Jealousy, arrogance, pride, envy. They need to take a deep dive in the mirror. Have a sense of accountability. That is a fact. And that's what you compromise, their comfort. Accountability is like a curse word to a lot of people. New Glip, thanks for the $10 contribution, says me and my wife started a garden. All praises. We hope to have most of our food from the yard. The process has brought us more in tune with nature. Shalom. All praises, New Glip. That's a blessing right there. I love to hear things like that. Thank you for the 5, Clint. Says New Breed, God bless you, brother. What would you tell your 20-year-old self? Oh, man. I would have told myself to get on the right track and come into the truth earlier and do what I'm supposed to do. I'd have been more active with everything, whether it been making music, whatever talent and gift. See, a lot of y'all brothers, y'all, you know, let's not talk like I'm old, cause I'm an OG. I'm an elder. I'm pushing 40, but I'm healthy. I'm good. So I don't want nobody treat me like I'm old. But anyway, what I would do is I would go back and I would tell myself to get out there and get it. All your talents and gifts, go full throttle, 100%. Do what you're gonna do and stay focused on that. Stay focused on that. A lot of you brothers out there, y'all young, y'all at a certain age, there's so much y'all can be doing. Y'all can be producing at such a high volume. Y'all can be doing so much, man. You got the energy. You got You got it in you. Like, you just gotta do it. You gotta do it. Somebody said, if you work with your talent, if you do what you are good at, you'll never need to work again. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what people don't understand. If you, like, even with music, right? A lot of people don't understand. All it takes is 3 minutes that can change your entire life. I'm talking about a 3-minute song can change everything. One song can change your whole life. One song. You got brothers dropping 3 and 4 songs a week. All it takes is one song. And you can be like Chameleonaire. Get that one hit wonder. Don't sell out. Go buy, go invest in something that's prominent, and you done. You living good. You on your own island somewhere, chilling, raising your family, and they safe. Didn't have to sell out nothing, because guess what? You had that one hit and you invested your money the right way. I'm telling you. I would tell 20-year-old me, keep pushing. Go for it. Go out there and get it. Because we're capable of so much, man. And there's always room. There's always room for somebody to excel in life if you got the work ethic. Sometimes it ain't even about who the best. It's just who's working the hardest. And I had a lot in me that I was giving into the system. What's the point of working for these people when I can be working for myself? Let me tell you something. If people not feeding you right, go make your own table. They ain't feeding you right, go make your own table. Straight up. Real talk. Somebody said, Nipsey Hussle said, small companies gonna crumble and small independents will take over. I don't, let me see. Let me read that. Small companies. Well, I think the whole system will crumble, and it's gonna be pretty much what have you reserved for yourself? Are you resilient enough and resourceful enough to have something on your table while the collapse take place? That's really what it boils down to. Commodities is the name of the game. And I got a good announcement to make. I'll be doing the land walk on North Carolina, June 14th. And we were able to dig a well. We were able to get the well dug, and we got water. The water's clean. The water's beautiful. It's flowing. So all praises to the Almighty. I just thought I'd bring that up for all people interested. All the UNY brothers and sisters that may be watching. We got that situated, which is great. But no, man, I would definitely tell anybody of that age to work. Get to work. Don't waste no time. Somebody said need to be like Otis Redding. Worked hard, died in a plane crash at 26 years old, but left his family 350 acres, a 350-acre farm, wealth and security to this day. See, that's what it's all about. That's what it's really all about. Doing something for these youngins out here. Stop giving back into this system. Just like right now, all of these ignorant Negroes out here dealing with that parlay app, gambling, sports betting. And it's all Negroes funding it. All Negroes. Y'all falling for the damn bread and circus, falling for the sports. With these $1 million athletes running up and down the court who owned by billion-dollar corporations and owned by managers and people who, ain't got no talent, getting paid off the backs of these slaves. They in the Roman Coliseum, slam dunking balls and boxing and all of this for your entertainment and you losing all your money gambling. It's like our people, and it's all Negroes. Everybody got a parlay app, parlay, sports gambling, sports bet. It's like you Negroes can't wait to get that money back. You really think you're gonna get rich? You Negroes ain't gonna make a red penny doing that. Just like when y'all go to Vegas and y'all gambling and all of that. Listen. They design these machines not to work in your behalf. That's how they make their money. It's like our people can't wait to give. That's why I told you, man. I said this in a live stream. We needed to be in slavery because these Negroes are idiots. We needed to have an overseer. Most High can't give y'all no kind of freedom. Y'all won't invest nothing in y'all self. Y'all just gamble and give y'all money right back to the system, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, the house always wins. House always wins. Somebody said, can you talk about ways to break out of the TI cycle? I'm a victim of V2K, gang stalking due. I live in the same complex as my gang stalkers. Can you give advice on how to move forward? Yes. First and foremost, V2K, which is voice to skull technology, in case you all don't know what that terminology means. V2K is really more spiritual than you would imagine. Yes, they do have physical weaponry. They do use radio frequencies. They do use various forms of radiation as well. And they target the mind with these energy weapons. But you must understand that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. If you are in this biblical truth, you have to actually peel that book open and pray for a sound mind. You have to understand that there's only so much they can do. So when you hear voices in your head, you need to equivalate that to a demon. Because that's what it is, essentially. With their weaponry, all they doing is using jinns. That's all they doing. Casting jinns into inanimate objects and using them against the people. Now, you got to understand this is a spiritual warfare. We battle not against flesh and blood, but wickedness and principalities in high places. So you got to address this like a spiritual issue, first and foremost. Cast those demons out, cast those spirits out, cast down all imaginations. You know, your prayer life got to be intact. And also, if you have the means or the wherewithal, it would be good for you to get away from that area. I don't know if you a single woman, but it would be good to have yourself a husband. And this is why you should want to have a man to watch the environment. It's important that, you know, you have a protector out here who's paying attention to what's going on in the neighborhood. Somebody said, thanks for the $5 contribution. Says, thank you for this message today. The mental battles I had this morning just dealing with money, rent, and etc. Thank you, brother. All praises to the Most High. Right. And this is what they want to do, you know. They want us to be stressed out. They want us to be under a great deal of fatigue, not understanding how to make a way. But if you think about it, if you really think about it, the Most High God gave you all the tools necessary to build on your own. He gave you everything. Somebody said, I went to Vegas and it was creepy, right? Somebody said, please research. They have Faraday clothes and IR thermometers. You need to get it. Okay, so yeah, there's also radiation tools that you can use, detectors. There's detectors you can use as well to actually, you can use it to as a scale to gauge how much radiation is in the air. And you can actually get yourself a lawyer. You can order these tools. These are things, that's something tangible. So that's great advice too. There's tools that you can order, thermometers and whatnot, that can track the radiation. You can actually call a lawyer. There are lawyers for this type of stuff, and you can find out where it's coming from And you can sue. You can actually sue people. There's been quite a few targeted individuals who actually got a bag off of, the radiation that's going on because they had enough to get a lawyer, and it is what it is. Like, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Somebody said, I live in Vegas and it's loco out here. Wow. Yeah, I've been to Vegas before. Very interesting place. Jane Doe says, what scares me is this system or law enforcement can actually work together, get us charges, have us go to jail, and nobody will help. Well, the Most High is with you. No man can be against you. They can do a whole lot, but there's spiritual laws in place that keep us protected. Yep, colloidal silver is good too. Yeah, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Colloidal silver, that's good as well. That gets free radicals and metals out your body. Somebody said, New Breed, they have a frequency that is telling your mind to do things. Yeah, they've been had that. It's called Voice of God. They used it in I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, because some of y'all are history buffs out here. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, they used it in which war was it? Vietnam. They used it in Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken. Or it could have been a little bit later than Vietnam. It could have been the Iraqi war. They used it in Kuwait. Okay. Yeah, and they actually had the Muslims believing that they was hearing God. And they was using free. This is stuff you can look up. This is actually stuff you can look up. This is real. So it ain't like people making these things up. It ain't like that we're conspiracy theorists. 'Cause y'all love that word, conspiracy theorists. Nah, it's just a lot of y'all can't see. Yeah, they thought it was the voice of Allah, had them retreating. Somebody said, my neighbor always said he heard the locust noise, but then I heard it one day. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, man. Somebody said life is like the modern GTA, and where GTA 6 comes out, I feel like it's going to be a deeper meaning behind it. Literally spent years making the game. It's deeper than just entertainment. Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. 432 hertz. Healing through sound frequencies is real too. That's something that I actually spoke about in the past, in past videos. Using the 432 hertz, listening to soothing sounds, calming sounds, and frequencies, that can help you with V2K as well. Also, like listening to an audio Bible while you're going to sleep at a low volume. Certain sounds can heal you. It's very true. But the Holy Spirit gets conjured up when you hearing that word of God, man. And I've been listening to the audio Bible when I go to sleep, and it's been working wonders, man. It's like I be knowing scriptures now that I didn't recognize before, and because in my subconscious mind, when I'm half asleep, I'm hearing them. And I know let me tell you something. I know the Bible is the truth, bro, because there's just no way. The way that book is written, it's just nothing. There's no other book in the world like the Bible. And it's when you listen to it and when you're reading it, you just realize how poetic it is. Like, you literally can you can break down one scripture like 30 different ways, bro. You can hear one chapter And you can interpret that chapter 100 ways. Like it's a wealth of knowledge. Like literally it's a wealth of knowledge. You cannot consider yourself a scholar of any sort if you don't study the word, man. It's so much history there. It's so much history there. It's so much prophecy there. You can't say that you a scholar on any level whatsoever if you ain't in that book. I don't care. You can read other books. You can study and learn other things, but that book, man, that I'm telling you, it's a lot to learn in that book, man. Real talk. Yeah, it just flows. Like I grew a deeper understanding of the book of Genesis. I listened to the book of Genesis like 3 times, bro. And what I realized is that there were some injections there. But not only that, if you were a person who didn't have the spirit, right? You would see certain things as we would call a contradiction, but then it makes sense as it goes on. Like it's a puzzle more so than a contradiction. A couple parts, like for instance, right? I don't even know why I'm going here, but it's just a thought, and we just building, so we kicking it, right? I was reading Genesis, and it said that, well, it didn't never say Adam and Eve were the first people on the planet. Number one, never said that. It gave you a rendition of creation on how he made Adam and Eve. But I don't think people realize how figurative it was, because when you look at it, Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel. Cain slew his brother Abel. His curse was that he would have to bear a mark, and he would have to flee out of the Garden of Eden, and whoever so found him, they would slew him. Well, if Adam and Eve were the first people on the earth, who on earth was going to slew Cain? How could he be a vagabond? How could he be a fugitive if Adam and Eve were the first people? But then when you go to the next chapter, I believe chapter 6, it says, I will make them in our image, and I will name them Adam. He says, I will name them Adam. So he didn't say, in the first it says name him, but then it says them. So if you piece the puzzle together, Adam must have been a tribe. No matter how you slice it, Adam had to be a tribe, bro. Like, when you really think about it, Adam was a tribe. It couldn't have been they was just the first people. That doesn't make sense. But that's just some deeper stuff, man. Some things I've been like studying, but I'm telling you. Yeah, it's like a code. The book is a code, man. It really is. Yep, somebody said, it's some parts of the Bible that explain why I'm going through what I'm going through. Back then, I was in deep sleep, but I have changed since I started reading the Bible. Right, man. All praises. Yeah, it's a lot in there that, it stimulates the mind. Even if you read it, be like, oh, this don't make sense. This is a contradiction. I guarantee if you read it, it'll stimulate your mind, because it'll have you trying to figure things out. And that's what the Most High wants. He wants you to ask questions. He wants you to seek after him and ask him things about what he's doing. He'll show you the answers. That's the beautiful thing. Like, the Most High is not this God who's just going, don't question my word. Of course, don't question his law, statutes, and commandments. But if you're reading something, this is the thing about studying to show yourself approved. If you're reading something and you lack the understanding, and you really are chasing the Most High, seeking his face, you're a person after the Most High's heart, and you doing what you're doing, he will answer questions that you'll be like, man, I never knew. And then you'll start falling back in love with that role again. Because it's something about questions being answered and him showing you different things. You start falling in love with the code being broken, and knowing and having that knowledge pour into you. And that's what we got to do, because I know it's been grievous, man. These last few years has been tough on us, man. We've been dealing with a lot of uh, scatterbrain zombies out here who don't want to see the light of day, and they just want to destroy the messenger. Like, don't kill the messenger. We just here with a message. Just like you people who came from them camps coming over to my channel to attack. Listen, I wasn't the one out there fighting like gorillas. That wasn't me. I wasn't out there. I wasn't in the midst of the Royal Rumble. Don't get mad at me because I'm reacting to what your camp was doing. I wasn't out there having a table, ladders, and chairs match. Hey, Debo, go get the chairs. I wasn't out there doing that. I wasn't out there screaming with the Bible, going back and forth with people, looking crazy as hell. 2 camps on 1 block, going to blows. That wasn't me. Why y'all mad at me for reacting to what they did? Something wrong with our people. Something extremely wrong, bro. Y'all mad at me because I did a video reacting to what they did. I'm the bad guy. I take that. I'll be the bad guy. Something really wrong with people. One thing for sure, one thing you can't do is you can't defend what they did. You can't defend it. I'm waiting for one of the camps to make a video in response to my video. I'm waiting for a person to make a response. I'm waiting for somebody to say something. Because that behavior, whether you listen, whether you good, bad, or indifferent, you know damn well you can't defend that. You can't defend that. The problem is y'all don't like the messenger. You ain't gotta like me. It's the message. I've been told I'm not a very likable person. I can be very shrewd sometimes. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Somebody said when the Holy Spirit breaks it down for understanding, it becomes clear to the soul. Right. That is, see, that's the blessing. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody said they believe camps before everything. To die for their elder, right. I never forgot that. They treat another man like he is God when this elder is just a man, right. They idolaters. Out here camp banging. Moving forward, anybody coming into the truth, y'all gotta be about motion. It ain't motion sitting on the block, posted, teaching the Bible all day. That ain't motion. Half the people walking by, they ain't paying y'all no damn attention anyway. Ain't listening to y'all. Trebling, thanks for the $20 contribution. Says, Breed, I know you move past discussing it, but 20s, young adults, 30s, prime, 40, middle age, 50, senior, 65, elder, you have youth. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I am pushing 40 years young, believe that. I had plenty of youth. I got plenty of energy in me. Yeah. Somebody said the urge to click up comes from fear. It's very hard not to gravitate towards a group. I agree. I agree. I think that one of the most weakest inefficiencies, I think I said that right, is that, and I think this was said on In Too Deep, the movie. LL Cool J said, black man's weakness is he always got to be a part of something. It's true. It's very true. He feel like he always got to be a part of something, bro. It's like we afraid to stand on our own, and that bothers me, man. Because you don't really know yourself until you walk one deep. Until you hold it down on your own and you got to go through trials and tribulations and face the world on your own, you really don't know what the Most High is all about. You just don't. And I'm not saying that to sow discord. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying that because listen, a person who gonna be in a camp gonna be in a camp regardless. But I'm saying that because there's individuals that's in these camps 1 foot in, and really they want to get out. Some people, same thing with these churches. There's some people who've been love bombed in these churches, and that's all they know. All they know is the church. All their friends, family, everybody they hang out with, all the social functions they attend. If it's in a camp or a church, that's difficult. That's not no joke. That's not no joke getting out of that atmosphere. That's not no joke at all, bro. Somebody said that's when you know our Heavenly Father knows we do not walk alone, right? He's with us. Yep. If everybody can do me one solid pound of like button, if you've been in this stream getting edification, I would appreciate it. Hey, good afternoon. Somebody said, Bree been around groups made being around groups made me fall back into the world after retaining for 5 years on my walk with Yah. Now I'm leaving the groups. Well, that's good. At least you recognize before it's too late. Yeah, I see, man. I done been through different stages of this awakening. I've been around a while, and it's been different stages that I've seen the Israelite community go into. I've seen the debate. I've seen, the camps out there in the streets, and there was a time for that when they was in the highways and byways waking people up. I seen that insurgence. I've seen all of these changes, all this metamorphosis in the community. And since being here, man, and looking at the current climate that we in right now, like, it is important that we as people just get in fight or flight mode. I mean, it really boils down to that, man. At some point, we really got to get in the fight or flight mode and start doing something different. The fact that the camp leaders haven't shook hands and had any signs of good faith, being in the open and trying to show some forms of unity so we can come together and build. Just the fact that that haven't happened, that should speak volumes to what spirits we dealing with these people. I question whether they able to come together. I think personally that the 501c3 clause doesn't allow them to come together, because I think it's all divide and conquer from the enemy. That's just what I'm seeing from the outside looking in, because this don't make sense. When you sitting here looking at your nation being obliterated through chemical warfare, germ warfare, straight up eugenics, the sterilization of your women, these inoculations, where you see this pro-choice movement being pushed to make sure women are terminating pregnancies, and they're actually programming the youth to follow in those footsteps. When you see this big depopulation agenda, when you see food being limited, when you see smart cities, when you see AI replacing jobs, you would think at some point people would be like, yo, we Israelites, we got to come together and do something, because these people, listen, the nations have lost their entire everlasting mind. They pushing the agenda, they pushing the letter coalition, they're morally degrading the children at youth. We got to build our own schools. Y'all, we got to go get some land. You would think with all these huge churches I don't care what letter coalition it is, what letter group, what camp, what you would think at some point that they would say, yo, let's just come together and make something shake. Because we in fight or flight mode. And we don't do something, when everything hit the fan, we're gonna be ass out. Now we didn't already taught the Bible. We didn't taught the scriptures in every way possible. But what action we gonna do? And there ain't nothing wrong with teaching the Bible. Ain't nothing wrong going line upon line, precept upon precept, doing what you do. I do it. I teach the Bible on this channel. But at the same time, you know, I'm all for the unification of our people. I don't know, but maybe New Breed got it wrong. Maybe I'm the crazy. Maybe the camps got it right. Maybe going in the middle of the streets, beefing and fighting, that makes the most sense. Maybe banging over doctrine, arguing over the name, arguing over the new moon Sabbath versus the regular Sabbath, arguing over how to celebrate a holy day. I guess that's more important. I guess that's more important than actually doing something for the people, right? Man, somebody said it right. RJ says, brother, you can't teach courage. RJ, you ain't lying. You can't teach accountability. That's what it really boiled down to. Because what it is our people have not accepted our punishment. Our people haven't accepted how wrong we went with the Most High. Because the Most High tells us in the scriptures, once we accept our punishment, that's when he's going to build our nation back up. We haven't accepted that. We still fighting against the grain. We still going against the grain. That's what's happening. Yeah, somebody said blood and scripts. Blood and scripts. We still going against the grain, man. We think we have all the answers because we got some chapters and verses. We haven't humbled ourselves. We don't have the bare basics. The bare basics. And this is why I was saying before, man, we got to get just to the moral laws, civil laws, honor thy neighbor. If IURC and the other camp just honored their neighbor, they wouldn't be out here throwing bows in the middle of the damn street. If they would have just honored their neighbor. Respect go a long way, man. We don't even know how to respect each other. That's crazy. You got all this rich history. You know the law. You know all about the book. Read, Ak. You go in a chapter and verse. I don't even know how you Negroes memorize all them damn scriptures. Y'all know a lot of scriptures. I give you that. But you Negroes out here fighting don't even know the bare basics. Respect your neighbor. Hey, look, y'all don't even know how and when to turn the other damn cheek. And then when somebody critique and criticize, all your little minions and your bots, they come over here. Cameron, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says facts. We got to be doers of the word, not just hearers. Step out, take courage, have faith, because faith without works is dead. Exactly. It is absolutely dead. Somebody said people know judgment is here. Right. Yeah, man, you know, it is what it is. I tell people all the time, man, study to show yourself approved. There's a burden in knowing. A lot of things that I'm saying, I know there's people watching who are of the truth and y'all understand what's going on. But sometimes, man, I be dropping so many nuggets and jewels on y'all and they be falling on dead ears. Listen, I want to be felt, not heard. I want you to understand what I'm saying. Let it resonate, let it permeate through your soul. I understand, hey, time is down. Don't let these Jews fall on dead ears, man. Because now you have the burden of knowing. Y'all have the burden of knowing. So, listen, I love each and every one of y'all. Support the content at newbreed.love. Follow me on Patreon, patreon.com/newbreed for exclusive content. Man, thank y'all. Have a blessed one. Shalom and peace.